I am Danny Goldberg. I use they, them pronouns. I was on my 4th day of having COVID, quarantined in my friend's apartment, the summer going into junior year, absolutely going crazy, looking for things to do. So I did what all theater kids do. I went on Broadway HD to find a musical to watch. And I came across the 2016 West End Funny Girl revival. I was like, oh yeah, I should probably watch that because I love Barbra Streisand, and also it has good Jewish representation, and also they really talked a lot about it on Glee, and like I always really left out about that, and so like I should probably just get it over with and watch it. And much to my surprise, I felt probably the most represented I've ever felt experiencing musical theater, or any media for that matter. And growing up as queer and also Jewish for that matter, I didn't often see myself represented in the media, and so that feeling really stuck with me.
And then in there, if y'all will like take 30 to 45 seconds and just introduce like your name and pronouns in like a little circle with your alto. Oh, is it sopranos, raise your hand. In your section. Sopranos form a circle. Altos, raise your hand. Altos form a circle. Tenors and tenors actually. Poor basses. Tenors circle, basses. I'll come sing with y'all. Introduce your name and pronouns. Go.
I'm Sophie, I use she, her. I'm Sarah, I use she, her. I'm Holly, she, her.
I'm Angel.
I'm Brianna, she, her. And Noah, they, them.
Emery, they, them. Megan, she, her.
Tempe, she, her.
Amazing.
Yay!
Sections and standing arrangements. This is a big thing that we deal with in choir. And again, I talk to choir directors all over the nation, and they're like, but I really love the classic SATB. Cool. But like at that same concert my junior year with a different director, who we have issues, but he decided that we were going to process with like all of the sopranos and altos on one side, the tenors and basses on another, and I was like, there. There. And I got instantly publicly outed because I was the only bass in a dress. And it was humiliating for me. So the first thing, talk to your singer where they want to sing, right? See what their preference is. It might not work vocally, right? That's okay. We'll talk about that in a minute. Try and remove gendered language for sections. We're never going to get away from like the very gendered pieces of like soprano and alto are AFAB, tenor and bass are AMAB, right? Though assigned female verse, assigned male verse, just in case. We're not going to get away from that. Those are entrenched. I don't know if we ever will, but like we can at least just start being like sopranos, altos, treble voices, higher voices, instead of being like ladies, or for AMAB folks, instead of like men using like tenors and basses, or like lower voices. Those are really simple things. We're just like, all right, tenors and basses, let's do it. It's like 2 extra syllables, y'all. It's not that bad.
And that only made me identify with Fanny Brice even more, because Funny Girl is a story about someone who didn't fit in with the strict gender roles or beauty standards of the time in society, and also specifically in the entertainment industry. And these themes very much apply to transness and Jewish identities as well. I won't get into all of the details, but some themes that popped out to me while watching were growing up as queer in a heteronormative society, the struggles of passing, microaggressions, the queer trope of comic relief, and how all of that affects a person's confidence and feelings of being desirable, just to name a few. In this production, it became about having found joy in a world that wanted so desperately to convince her that she didn't deserve it. And once she found it, she wanted to hold on to it however she could. And so it's addressing all of the microaggressions and the discrimination and the times she was told she wasn't pretty or behaving like a lady to all of her mom's friends and the other dancers who criticized her. And she's saying, you can't take away my joy. You can't rain on my parade. And with this production, I wanted to validate these queer experiences and show that we are lovable, we are capable, and we are, in Fanny Brice's words, gorgeous.
I always check vocal placement first, and a really good trick for that we use in choir land is whenever you have some, like, individually voiced people, go over to the piano and then have them count backwards from 10 to 1. They might have to think about that. But as they're going 10, 9. I'm at the piano and I'm like listening and finding their speaking pitch. Finding the pitch that they speak at, that's a great place to start warm-ups, is like that being like do, and using that as like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, right? And then that's a really good, easy place to see where they are and to help kind of find that. So that's a good
It's a great
trick.
exercise.
When you're broken on the ground, you will be found. 'Cause you reach up and you rise again. If you only look around, you will be found. You will be found. You will be found. You will be found.
Not a wrong note anywhere. Again, every situation is going to be different. Some singers aren't going to mind where their voice belongs. Others are going to feel dysphoric. I always say, do what works for them, because you teach the whole human. You don't just teach an instrument, right? They're not a saxophone. One of the really easy ways that you can address that, though, is blending standing arrangements to help with sections, right? So like you'll see taking that SATB form and just changing it to like what I call a stab form. We can't say that in school. So doing that and like maybe having a trans person here, like on a border or on there, you know, like finding a way so that they're not like instantly publicly outed. Now in musical theater, what's really nice is like that's a lot easier to do, I think, overall with blocking. However, like you still get times where like directors will be like, oh, well, let's have all the men over here, all the women over here. And then if you're non-binary, you're like, where do I go? And if you're trans, you're like, well, did you mean vocal? You know, like it's one of those things that really quick can like trigger some gender dysphoria.
And can I hold for just 1 second and just ask a question to the group, which would be, if you had, the scenario being you had a trans woman who sang bass, like what would be the best practices?
Feel called out.
What would be the best practice to just make that person feel more included and not feeling like it was binary in the bass section? Any thoughts? And thoughts from the crowd are fine too, if you've experienced that.
I have never experienced
No,
that.
yeah, that's okay.
Honestly.
That's okay.
Me experience that? I mean, I think you're already doing a great job where like you didn't gender the basses at all. Like you were just like tenors and basses and you did it. And so like for me, like there was nothing in there where I was like, oh my gosh, like I have to think about my gender in this moment. Like I'm just like, oh shit, an A flat and a B flat? Okay. You know, like damn.
You are not alone. 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 Even when the dark comes crashing through, when you need someone to carry you, when you're broken on the ground, you will be found. 'Cause you'll reach up and you'll rise again. If you only look around, you will be found. You will be found. You will be
Oh, march my band out. Oh, beat my drum. And if I'm fanned out, your turn at bat, sir. At least I didn't fake it, hat, sir. I guess I didn't make it. Get ready for me, love, 'cause I'm a comer. I've simply gotta march my art to drummer. Nobody, no, nobody is gonna rain on my parade.
that I learned I've been doing everything wrong. Thank you. I was born in 1961, and there wasn't a term or any language, non-binary, trans. It was just sissy and faggot. And so there was no word for who I was. I had to learn on my own. There were no computers or cell phones. We were little islands. And I started working as a professional, paid, in 1982. So about 42, 43 years I've been working. But the interesting thing is, the majority of that time I was considered unmarketable. They told me that. I wasn't boy enough. I was a drag queen, stay in the bars. You're not woman enough. So it's fascinating to be in this room where people are actually putting language and talking about it, and it's a little overwhelming, to be quite honest. And I have no voice today, but I didn't want to miss the opportunity to be an international performer. After everything that's gone on recently, I stand on many shoulders, and I fought for years for every opportunity I had to create, and I was losing hope. And you all gave me more hope today, because I see these young faces, and so anyway, let's end on a little brighter note. Yes. That was lovely. It's good, isn't it grand? Isn't it great? Isn't it swell? Isn't it fun? Isn't it nowadays? There's men everywhere, jazz everywhere, booze everywhere, life everywhere, joy everywhere nowadays. You can like the life you're living. You can live the life you like. You can even marry Harry, but mess around with Ike. Choreography. And that is good, isn't it grand? Isn't it great? Isn't it swell? Isn't it fun? Isn't it? But nothing stays. In 50 years or so, it's gonna change, you know. But oh, it's heaven nowadays. You can like the life you're living. You can live the life you like. You can even marry honey, but mess around